Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I can't carry a tune in a fucking bucket.
That was beautiful.
I'm terrible.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the show. We do not have the theme song today. Well, no, Ralt provided the theme song there, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Ishi is not feeling well, so he will not be joining us. So I am. In fact, we're on my computer at the moment. We're not on his, so there won't be all the pretty bells and whistles. It'll just be the three of us bullshitting this evening. So
this is the great value version of the show.
yes.
The food for less version of the show.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna knock food for less, man. Food for less is the whole reason my family made it. I mean, sure,
No.
Go shopping at 3 a.m. at Food for Less. The kids were asleep in one of the carts. You're just glad they're not screaming. And there's always that baby who discovered it could make a new noise. And you'd be walking through the store and you hear this baby go like, bah, and hear it echo and hear giggles. And then, bah, and then you hear another baby pick it up. You know, these two babies would be going, bah, because they just discovered they could make a new noise. Because, you know, babies are stupid.
That and it's weird. It's like that, like in 101 Dalmatians, where, you know, just one dog starts barking and the next thing you know, they're all doing it. I've been in stores where like one baby goes, bah, and then the next thing you know, they're all freaking doing it.
Yeah, because it's a new, neat noise. And, you know, that's the basis of speech. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, when I was in the hospital, when I had Chris, the kid that was next to us would start crying, which would trigger Chris, which would then you could hear it all through the maternity ward. It's like went down every room, every newborn just wailing.
Yeah, it's the basis of speech and communication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, you know, you see that baby and it is so proud of itself that it can make this new noise. And it's got the biggest smile on its face, you know, that little toothless smile. And it's drooling and it's like, bah! And the mother's like, oh God, just stop. It's like, no, she's gonna make that noise for the next 3 days. Get used to that noise.
Oh, the best is when you're driving down the freeway and they've discovered a new noise and it's out at the top of their lungs and it's just bah! 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 And if you're on a road trip, dear God.
Oh, God. I finished my temporary disability, and Trista had gone back in the Army. They scheduled it so we went back in the same time. And we're driving from California to Texas in this piece of shit car. And we got it at Goodwill. You know those little things you could put on the car seats that look like little, you know, they got the steering wheel and the horns and everything. So we got, you know, two little kids, and we're driving. And the baby discovered a new noise. And, of course, the older one wants to do it, too. And it's like fucking 90 degrees because we got no air conditioner, and because it's a piece of shit. We're driving down the road. The baby's like, blah, 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 blah. And beside it, my older daughter would go, blah, 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 blah. My wife's like, just for the love of God, kill me. And we're at this gas station. We got the windows down. The people next to us on the other side of the pumps have their window down. And the baby goes, blah, 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 blah. And we hear from the other car, bah, 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 bah. And the guy pumping gas goes, oh, fuck, not again. I was like, I feel for you. I'm right there with you, buddy. She's going to do this for the next 1,000 miles.
Oh, the best is when the dogs get on it, when the baby starts crying and then the dog starts howling.
Yeah.
The dog's like, there's a baby in distress. What do I do?
Oh, God.
It's like, oh, fuck me. Yeah, imagine a newborn and a Rottweiler, and my kid starts crying, and then friggin' Clovis just which of course triggers Chris to cry more, and it's just like, dear fucking God, why?
I remember those days. God.
I miss them, actually.
My kids are all in their late 20s, so, you know. And I'm telling you, I'm glad I had them early. I'm so fucking glad I had them early. All these people, oh, I'm going to wait till I'm 30 or 40. Yeah, you have fun with that, champ.
Yeah, I was one of those that waited.
I'm going to be in my 50s when they're a teenager. Yeah, how's that working for you?
My cousin's a year older than me, and she just had her first. So,
Oh, God. We were going to have more. We're going to have more, but Trista, one of the reasons Trista got out was because her heart got damaged when she was at Fort Hood, and which was really fucking bad because she's a power lifter and everything, and she damaged her heart, heat stroke, and
Oh.
and she had a heart attack having a third kid. So, and she went and told the doctors, "Hey, I need my tubes tied." And the doctor's like, "Well, you're pretty young and you're in exceedingly good shape and healthy." And she handed over the paperwork and said, "I damaged my heart, my last tour of duty, and I had a heart attack giving birth." And the doctor went, "Well, we'll schedule on Wednesday."
Yeah.
So I hear all these people going, "Oh, I have health problems that could kill me if I have a baby, and they won't give me they won't get to have my tubes." And I'm like, fuck, the Army did it. And the Army's usually like, well, you might want to be 70 years old and have a kid. And it was just like, well, we'll schedule on Wednesday.
That's amazing that the moment she turned it in, the guy saw it. He was like, yeah, it's going to be done this week, soon.
Yeah, because we were going to have like 5 or 6 kids. But, life had other plans.
I hear you. Just ours came down to genetics. We were going to have 2 or 3. Steve wanted to have like 5 because he's the oldest of 8. I was like, I'll give you 2 or 3, bud. No.
I'll give you 2 or 3, and that hole's just going to be blown out, and I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, I get your excitement, but I'm the one that's going to have a blown out tunnel.
Yeah. Well, we had our neighbors, they had 4 kids by the time that we moved out and moved in to take care of my mom, and they were still talking about having more. I'm like, dude, like the 5th one's just going to slide on out. No problem. Whoosh.
Oh, God. I knew a girl in school, and she got married. She was like, oh, I'm going to wait to get married. I'm not going to have any kids. And she got married at 25. And at 26, she had her first kid. And I think she was 37, not 27, 37. And she had 11 kids. And I was like, good fucking God, it's a uterus, not a clown car. And I know her husband, I looked at her and I was like, good God, get off her. But he ended up lucky. He inherited some property. He inherited I think it was 200 acres of absolute shit. I mean, the land wasn't worth a fuck. And he was out there, with his friends, and they were just fucking around in the cars and, peeling out and shit. And he looked at the ground. He realized, well, wait a minute. This is all like 2 inches of topsoil and then fucking gravel. And so now him and his sons run a goddamn gravel quarry.
Nice.
So, he needs all these fucking kids.
Well, hey, built-in labor. Cheap.
Yeah, free labor.
Free labor.
Hey, Wolf, I don't have a new mic. I'm on my phone tonight. Apparently, my email doesn't like Kat's email. Everybody's like, she's got a new mic. No, I'm on my phone.
Yep.
Sorry if I sound weird.
And once again, I'm sitting on the back porch in the dark because, oh, God, it's been 105 here. Jesus Christ. And I've got but I'm an adult, so I have an air conditioner. I will pay that electric bill, thank you.
Yeah, that's the one thing about getting older and getting a little bit more money is you can finally turn on the AC, because I can remember living with my roommates in my 20s, and we couldn't afford to turn on the AC, and we were fucking dying. And then, of course, my roommates who are stoners have to shut every door because they want to hot box the fuck out of the place in the middle of summer.
Oh, God.
God, we were still starting out. We had 2 kids. One was 3, and the other one was 1. And we had this shitty single wide, and we'd open up the windows, and I'd go to work. In the military, at least kept it cinder block building, so it's halfway good. And I'd come home, and they'd all be laying on the couch or on the floor, napping. But at night, my wife and the kids would be up, and I'd be in there asleep because at night it was cool. Because fuck Texas. I'd come home and they'd just be laying on the floor sweating.
Oh,
Well, we couldn't afford the air conditioner. The air conditioner had an extra $100 a month. Can't afford
oh,
that
I didn't.
shit.
My mom didn't get AC in her house until I had Chris. So no, I grew up with no air conditioning. But of course, the grandson gets it.
Yeah, yeah.
No AC. When we finally moved out of my mom's place and we were renting a condo. Yeah, we couldn't afford AC either. So just like, okay, open up all the windows, open up all the doors, have all the box fans going.
A box fan with a wet towel on it.
Yep.
Yep.
Did do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
That was
remember.
the best thing.
I remember the days of being poor. There was some Gen Zer on Discord that was like, "Wow, I wish I could have it as good as you have it." I was like, "You could literally not survive what I went through to get this." Well, I work really hard. I work 35 hours a week. I was like, "Fuck you." At one point, I was working construction and working 70 hours a week. Oh, well, that's just your employer stealing from you. No, it's not.
No, it's not. You know, that weird ass sense of entitlement where it's like, well, you know, if you show up, you demand like living wages. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah. That was the weirdest construction. That was about a month into that construction job. My boss would have cash because he dealt in cash, and I would ride around with him with a 45 because I have my licenses and permits, and my whole job was to guard him, and then at night, me and 3 other guys would guard all the lumber and all the siding, so that the crews of Mexicans wouldn't show up and steal it all. Because in Texas they will do that because it's competitive. And here I'm sitting. Part of my work was a bulletproof vest and a fucking AR-15.
Jeez.
Damn.
I used to also help my boss collect on people who hadn't paid. We'd pull up to the house. He'd be like, "All right, go in there, knock on the door, and you let that guy know to pay me my fucking money." I was like, "How much does he owe?" Like, "He owes $110,000 on that house. He owes me $4,000 right now. Go get it." I'd knock on the fucking door and push my way in. I'd be like, "You owe my boss $4,000. I'm not leaving until I get it."
Damn.
Which is why my friends always laugh. I didn't work construction. I worked for the mob. I was like, I did not work for the mob. I worked construction.
No. The thing is like in the mob, there's like code words for jobs you do. So I'm in construction. That could mean all sorts of heavy work.
Yeah. Like, no, I worked construction. Of course, my boss's wife would take Trista and the wives of the other guys, the other supervisors, to fucking Austin on jewelry shopping trips, and my boss would pay us all at a strip joint. We'd walk in the back door of the strip joint, and I'd have my pistol. We'd go sit down, and the bouncers wouldn't say anything about the pistol because he's got a fucking box full of envelopes full of fucking money. And he'd pay like 4 or 5 girls to dance beside the tables between us and the door, and everybody on the work crews would come in and get paid. So I'd come home smelling of a strip joint with stripper glitter on me. My wife would be like, "Where's my money? Where's the money? Where's the paycheck? Where's the money?" Saying it like that really does. It was just construction. It was Texas construction. It's the way it was done. I knew a construction I used to pay his guys in the library, back in the back research stacks. Wow, construction was weird.
Thing is, I get it. That's just the way it is. You're not like the first person to tell me a story like that. So.
And we didn't pay taxes on any of it.
Well, that's why you're getting paid in a strip joint and not with a check.
Yeah. That's why you're getting paid in a strip joint. Duh. So I had some Gen Zer telling me, it must have been nice being able to just have a high school diploma and have your balls washed all through your career. And I'm thinking, I went in there and put a gun in a guy's mouth while my guys fucking loaded back up our lumber that they'd stolen the night before. I was thinking, I don't think you can handle that job, champ.
Yeah, okay, Junior. You try it.
Yeah. Well, shit, I've told you guys what my first job was. Worked at the fucking slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my boss would be like, "Hey, Rolf, how'd you like to make $150?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, what do I got to do?" And you're like, show up tomorrow during the off day on Sunday and wear clothes you don't care about because you're going to jump in the maggot pit and shovel it out.
Oh,
And that was like 4 hours of work. But this is, the early mid 80s. And you hand me $150 when I was done. I just
actually, that's really good. That's really good.
My girlfriend would hose me off, hose off the clothes, put it up on the laundry line and hose off the clothes, go and take a hot shower, and then a cold shower, and then a hot shower, and then come out and she'd be like, "Oh, I made you your favorite dinner." It's like, I love this. I'm 15. I love this. But we had everything handed to Gen Xers had everything handed to them. Yeah, totally handed to me.
Where the fuck did they get this notion? It's like all of a sudden one day they all just like decided that we were living it high and we didn't have to want for anything. Where'd they get that from?
It's projection. They know deep down. They know.
Yeah, and what it is they graduated college and see. I'm sorry, they got fucked by the boomers and telling everybody, "Oh, go to college and you'll never have to actually work." So they got out of college and their degree is worthless. I mean, back in the day when I dropped out of high school, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like lots of kids dropped out of high school to work on the family farm, work at the family business. It wasn't that big of a deal. But now, fucking companies are saying you need a bachelor's degree for them to even look at your resume.
Well, have you heard the latest? I was reading an article and they were saying that degrees now for the latest graduates are completely worthless. 90% of jobs aren't looking for degrees anymore. They're looking for experience again. So it's come full circle.
Yeah.
A degree is worthless.
God.
That experience shit is bullshit. What HR does is we want 5 or 10 years with this and this and this. And one of them that somebody pointed out to me, that the programming language has only been out for 2 years. It's only been public release for 2 years. But the job things say you have to have 10 years experience in it, right? And then when 6 months go by and they can't fill that job, they tell the government, "Hey, we can't find anybody in America to take this job. Can we get some H-1B1 visas?" And so then they import people to take that job. Yeah, I was talking to my brother. My brother still works for one of the big, gigantic fucking megacorps. And he talks about all the time. He gets these people that don't know anything because that's what they did. The job requirements and the experience requirements were so stupid that it is literally impossible to qualify for them. And then they use these H-1B1 visas and they bring these people in. And my brother's telling me, they try to fucking dock their pay for the dumbest shit. Basically because these guys don't know U.S. labor laws. They just get fucking bent over and ass fucked.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And he said the company would fire him, but they don't dare. Because he'll tell these guys, "Hey, here's the U.S. labor laws. Read them, understand them, and know your rights." And he got called to the office last year. He's like, "You can't keep rabble rousing." He's like, "I'm just informing them of their legal rights of working in America." "Well, you're rabble rousing." He said, "Fine, fire me. Find someone who can script COBOL and Pascal, and it is only going to charge you $250,000 a year." And they're like, "Well, we're just telling you." He's like, and he said he flat out looked at the guy and goes, "There's nothing you can do to me." He goes, "I'm one of 30 people in America who can do both COBOL and Pascal. And something else. He knows something else. It's one of the really old programming languages that he learned, way back in the day in high school."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Go ahead and fire me. I'm one of 30 people." And all 30 of those guys get bank. And I'm almost 60. He renegotiated his paycheck this month because his contract came up. And they're like, "Well, because of the way the economy is, we're going to have to cut your pay and cut your benefits." And he went, "Oh, well, because of the way the economy is, I quit." I was like,
"Did he actually quit, or did they come begging?"
He said they caved like a California house in an earthquake. He was like, "Okay, I'm out." And he got called 3 days later, and they're like, "We agree to all the terms." And he's like, "Good. Now you're going to pay off my house." And
Nice.
when he went back to work, they paid off his house, agreed to how much he wanted, agreed to the stock options, agreed to the perks.
Wow.
But he said, they do it to themselves. I'm like, "Why?" He goes, every year when they renew my contract, I say, who do you send me 4 guys so I can train them in what I know? And they never do. They never send a single person to him. He goes, 20 years now, 20 years I've been telling them that the guys that know the programming languages I do are all getting out, are all retiring, are all dying.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to send me some guys to learn this stuff. Because he says they've hired IT guys from all over the place. They can't learn this shit. And I'm like, what's the big fucking deal? I mean, both of us used to program in Pascal. He's like, these people literally can't learn it because it's a foreign language. It's not object-oriented programming. And it's funny, you know, this is a corporation that could afford that. I mean, their stock is ridiculous. And I'll guarantee right now you have a product from that company in your house. And probably multiple. And I'm like, so what the fuck? He's like, yeah, nobody knows how to use Novell for work groups because that's what the entire company's inventory runs on. And I'm like, they haven't produced a new version of Novell since like 98. He's like, yep. Nobody else.
Oh my God.
And he's like, send me somebody I can teach them how to do this. And they never do. It's like, he goes, I can literally leave in the middle of the day and there's nothing they can do. I just stay on call. I'm like, fuck. He's like, but he's like, remember, I ate shit for 15 years. He did too, man. They would send him to like fucking oil rigs. They'd send him to Alaska. They'd send him to Montana. Where he'd be out there, and do nothing for like 15 years. He was on the bottom of the totem pole. And then all the boomers started aging out. And suddenly he went, boom, 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 boom. And I guess the Gen Zers, you know, think that they look at the millennials who, you know, and the millennials had it rough too. I mean, ever since the boomers decided in 86 that they were going to gut the stock market and do all that corporate raider shit and destroy the housing sector,
Mm-hmm.
Gen X, the millennials, Gen Z, we all got fucked. And, you know, the Gen Zers look at what millennials have, and the millennials in their 30s, they've been working for over a decade. And I've heard them tell millennials, oh, you had it easy compared to us. Fuck you, you 20-year-old little douche. I have an associate's degree. I have a bachelor's degree. Well, that and $5 will let the waitress piss in your cup of coffee. What do you want? A cookie?
What exactly have you been doing with your life?
Yeah. No, I was reading some article. Oh, I was sitting at my desk and I was transcribing a blog post about some federal regulation I didn't care about. And I started crying because is this what I'm going to do with my life? Oh, you work in an air-conditioned office typing on a laptop for $25 an hour. Oh no! And then she like, I only make $25 an hour, and I still can't make ends meet. Move out of the city.
Yeah, leave.
Because
I'm so tired. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's say I hate that these realty companies have bent everybody over and started ass fucking them with, oh well, at $25 an hour, you could afford to give us $15 an hour of your paycheck for your shitty lodging. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say I'm tired of hearing for the last decade I'm so poor when they're not. And that's why I get so angry, I guess, as a Gen Xer, because I'm tired. I'm tired that they're now coming after us. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, everybody's heard our stories on this stream about, you know, life was not easy for us. I mean, I'm not saying all millennials had it easy. I know there's a ton of millennials out there that had it bad.
Yeah, had it just as bad.
No, but it just seems the vocal ones really like to talk about how they have it so hard while sitting in their Manhattan apartment across from Central Park, but they still are poor. And it's like, fuck you. Fuck you with a rusty fish hook.
Well, I go to work, and then I type an email for an hour, and then I go to the wine room, and then we have a dance party on the roof, and then I go to lunch, and then we come back from lunch, and then I type a couple emails to the office, and then we go out for drinks, and then we come back, and I type another email, and then I punch out, and then we go out and have drinks till 10 o'clock, and then I wake up the next day, and oh, my life is so hard, but I'm making it somehow. Fuck you, work construction, the Texas heat.
Though, Okay, not for want of trying, because one of my first jobs was actually at a car mechanics, but due to health reasons, I had to quit. So yeah, I did try to go into the trades because, quite frankly, I prefer working with my hands. I don't
Yes.
like being on the computer. I just have such a sparkling personality, and it makes me money. So hey, but no, I definitely prefer the trades. I'm just, when you get up at 6 a.m. so you can go work a job that you fucking hate for 8 hours and then immediately go to school, and you're there, basically, I don't see home for like 18 hours. And the only thing I can say is that thank fucking God I had both of my my mom's parents, not the grandma I was telling you about before, although she's a battle axe, but my other grandparents, because they were from the Depression. My grandfather was 12 when we lost the family farm in the Depression. And so because of them, I learned how to, pinch a penny to make Lincoln scream, and, the types of food that you can eat that's nutritious and is going to fill your belly and doesn't make you feel like you're starving, but, it costs like nothing. Yeah. My grandmother didn't get a dryer in her house until 97. And so it's because I grew up with that type of mentality of, you don't need a dryer. You don't need a washing machine either. She taught me how to wash clothes without a washing machine. I don't own a dryer. Why? Well, I'm in freaking Arizona. I don't need one. Yes, it's convenient and it's nice to have, but I don't need one here. So I didn't see, that it was worth the extra $5 a month, because that's how much I calculated it cost to run those things. So, and that's just for Ishi and I. If you have kids, my fucking God, I don't know how much that costs. So, it's the actually having to balance it. But I've run into millennials who have no idea how to balance a checkbook.
Like, and then they're like, "Oh, school didn't teach." They're like, "Oh, school didn't teach me." I'm like, "Did they teach you addition and subtraction?" Yes, you fucking liar. They taught you.
Yeah.
And and most of the time they did teach these little fucks, because I went to school with people who, when they got out, were like, "Oh, they never taught me to balance a checkbook." I was like, I was in the same helmet class you were, and you were back there dicking around and fucking off with your friends when they taught us to balance a checkbook in Elmec. Well, I don't remember that. Well, that's because you have the IQ of a fucking toadstool.
I remember when I took, they didn't call it, they had separated home ec into two classes when I was in high school. It was home ec, where you learned how to cook, wash, iron, sew, all that stuff, taking care of your house. Career and family studies was where you learned how to balance a checkbook, fill out a resume, and both the home ec wasn't required, but career and family studies was. And our teacher made us take a test on how we could balance our checkbooks and pay our bills. Like, she drilled it into our head. So I knew how to balance a checkbook. I knew how to fill out a resume. I knew how to read my bills. I knew how to fill out a fucking tax form at 18. Yeah. That's something a lot of kids were never taught later on, which that's a shame.
Well, I took home ec for a reason. I took it right before lunch, and I took it with my girlfriend. And home ec, you have to make food. So, the stoves were right there, and me and her would make something to eat. Home ec could be going on, and she'd be paying attention to the oven. And, in the class, me and her would have food, and we'd sit there and eat and laugh and shit. But, yeah, I mean, I learned all kinds of shit in home ec.
Well, I never took home ec because my mom made all her own clothes, and again, Depression era grandma. So I didn't take that. No, I took the same life skills class that Janelle was talking about, and then I took wood shop. So
that was the year I had auto shop, metal shop, home ec, and then civics. Back when they taught civics, math, and science. And I'd be at school at 8:15 and leave at 3:15.
Since my mom grew up making her own clothes, and because she said back then it was cheaper to make your own clothes than it was to buy clothes, which is wild. That's crazy to me.
I remember that era.
And then I had to be my dad's sous chef for his gourmet cooking hobby. So I already knew how to cook fucking crown roast by the time I was 12 years old. That's not a lie. That's not a brag. I knew how to do leg of lamb. I mean, we're talking everything. And my mom had taught me how to do quick stitches, to repair hems, put on buttons, stuff like that. And the sewing machine was my nemesis, though. For some reason, no matter what I did, I always broke it. So I have never touched one since. But yeah, career and family studies was amazing because I not only that was the class where they also taught you about sexually transmitted diseases. And we also had to carry around our egg children. So we knew what it was like to be a teenager who had children.
That was funny because they only had so many of those little dolls to go around. And they said, how many of you have little brothers or little sisters that are younger than 5? Of course, I raised my hand. And the teacher's like, okay, you guys don't get them.
But you're already doing the work. You know what's up.
Yeah, you had to go up there and to change a diaper, and you change a diaper. You feed the doll. She look at it. You burp it, and then she gives you a fucking pass on that part. And it was funny because oh my god, that fucking part of it gave my girlfriend baby fever.
Oh
no!
I'm sorry.
Oh, she was just like, come on. I was like, no, it's too early. She's like, I want one. It's like, no. We're not even 16 yet. We have our own place. You have a good job. No.
No.
But at least the baby fever faded after, like a month.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, I mean, that class made it so that more girls got pregnant.
Oh, see, it was the opposite at my school. So many girls crossed their legs after that class. And because right after we did the baby segment, she jumped right into venereal diseases. And it was like that episode of South Park where the boys and the girls think each other's the enemy because girls give you gonorrhea and boys give you babies.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, you can tell what time of year it was because it's like every single vagina in that school dried up. Like you could hear the guys bitching they weren't getting any because the girls were scared shitless.
Well, so many kids at my high school the last high school I went to by 16 were working jobs, and all these girls came out of either the trailer park or off the farm. So, they were all like, well, my grandma was married with a kid by 16. I was like, yeah, but that was 1930. Or, yeah, well, your grandfather was assaulting Normandy.
Yeah.
Well, my great-grandmother had my grandmother at 15, and my grandmother had my mom at 18. So, yeah, it was different times.
Yeah.
It was a different time. Of course, people in general didn't live as long, I mean,
yeah.
Hell, my grandfather died at the ripe old age of 101 months, and never thought he'd live that long. Never.
My grandfather died of the grand old age of fighting the Chinese in Korea.
Oh shit!
So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was the thing.
Life was tougher. Life was harder. People didn't live as long. The medical system wasn't as advanced.
Can you
I'm not going to say accessible. It's just advanced.
Could you imagine telling a Gen Zer that, okay, we're not going to the ER. We're going to put you on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And we're going to scrub out the wound with a dried corn cob and then pour salt on it and then bandage it. No, we're going to pour salt, calamine, iodine.
Oh,
and your anesthetic is SoCo.
Well, your anesthetic is your war veteran uncle pouring whiskey on the wound and then telling you just swallow and just pouring you whiskey in your mouth.
Yep.
Can you imagine if you did that to them? They'd lose their fucking minds. And the thing is, I'm not advocating for us to go back to that. God, no.
No.
Fucking God, no. Having a concussion and not being taken to the hospital because, well, hospitals are for rich people.
Ugh.
Oh, man.
Actually, I
Let's
gotta
not
stop.
go back to that.
No.
Well, the way these people are behaving, they're going to force us to go back that way. We're going to end up in fucking idiocracy. I swear.
No, idiocracy would be a benefit.
Yeah, it would.
No, because the main character nowadays, the guy from the main character of Idiocracy would get canceled because they would find an old social media post from 80 years ago, and so they wouldn't listen to anybody, and everyone would starve to death.
Also, the president from Idiocracy was genuinely trying.
Yeah.
Well, could you imagine being that person and you wake up and you are in a dystopian hell filled with nothing but morons? I'd freak out.
It's called Every Morning.
I was about to say, aren't we already there?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I guess maybe I live in a bubble because I surround myself with people who aren't morons.
Well, unfortunately, I have to go out and interact with the public to go shopping. I mean, sure, I have to drive 50 miles. What was it? A week ago, I went to Walmart, right? Because Walmart, why not? I mean, fuck it. And we stopped to get gas, and this woman pulls off the freeway. She pulls in, and she's got a fucking license. I can remember where her license plate was from. And she's like, "Oh, it's binging at me that it's low on fuel." And she picks out the pump, and she's walking around the car, and I look at the back of the car, and she's like, "I can't figure out where to put the fuel in." Guess what it said on the back of the car?
Electric.
Tesla. And I walk up, and I'm like, "Hey, lady," and I've never had this happen to me before in my life. I thought it was overblown. I thought it was just internet bullshit. She looks at me, and she goes, "I have a boyfriend," and turned away. I'm like, "Fine, then burn your fucking car down. See if I give a fuck." And my wife, being the lovely person she is, hey, dumbass bitch. My husband was trying to tell you that's an electric car. It doesn't use gasoline. Oh, well, where's the nearest charger? She goes, I don't know. I have a husband. Here's the thing, though. There aren't any chargers in that town.
Ooh.
She's fucked.
Yeah. Oh, hey, click on Aloise's comment.
No, because I'm sitting in the back porch.
Okay.
What about oh, okay. Yeah. Aloise says, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I am using my phone, but I still have you guys on my TV. So I'm watching chat on the TV.
Nice. So Aloise shared that Fair Maiden shared that they're trying to start up a new round of lockdowns in 2024. I heard that they were talking about it.
I've seen the news reports, and they're talking about expect a fresh wave of lockdowns because this new COVID variant is going to be bad. You know what? It ain't gonna happen. Nobody trusts the government anymore. Nobody trusts the medical industry. They're gonna be like, fuck you, try us. And here's the thing, when some sort of variant that is actually going to kill people pops up, it's gonna be like The Stand because they fucked up.
Yep. What's fucked up is they didn't follow a single step from the biological hazard handbook.
No.
They did everything. I mean, they did everything wrong. It was like it was deliberate. And what I will never forget are the same people that are talking about how the Republicans botched the COVID response. I have fucking images of screenshots of the newspapers and news articles of, oh, go down to Chinatown and celebrate. Oh, hug each other. Oh, you don't give into this COVID hysteria. And then 3 months later, they're screaming at everybody to stay in their houses.
It was the Democrats that were the ones that helped the spread by doing that.
Yeah.
What?
Well, remember, they tried to stop overseas flights and were told that's racist.
Yeah. Okay. I know I brought this up on this show before. Ishi was kind enough to get me a copy because it'd been years since I'd had it. You ever read Ralt's The Cobra Event?
No.
Are you familiar with The Cobra Event?
Nope.
No.
The Cobra Event, written by Richard Preston, is the book that made Bill Clinton go, wait, this could happen, we all need to have a meeting like right now and figure out how to stop biological warfare like this from happening.
Yeah, and then he was given the advice, and you know what he did?
What did he
sold
do?
everything. He sold everything off. That's what he did.
Shit.
He sold off all the FEMA stocks. He sold off all the FEMA hard sites for the land. He sold off several of the biowarfare facilities, closed down the bases and sold off the biowarfare facilities. And basically, it was like, so wait, you were given all this advice on what we have to do to stop a biowarfare attack, and you did the exact opposite.
Oh, God. No, I didn't hear that part of the story.
Yeah, if you look, you can see him out there all proud that they're going to be imploding an underground research facility.
Oh,
Clinton in the late 90s.
But this book lays out a realistic scenario of biological warfare, and it lays out step by step what you're supposed to do to minimize spread, minimize contamination, do all of those things.
Minimize, isolate, eliminate.
Exactly. And no, they did the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did.
Well,
the funny thing is they did the same thing during the AIDS epidemic. They did the exact same thing. That's what gets me.
On all of that, and all of that, just my memory is like, there's something not right here.
I remember, in order to stop the AIDS epidemic, we're going to close the bathhouses and close the public sex arenas and everything. And the next thing you knew, there were lawsuits. And
I remember that, even as a kid.
And then it was like, why are we dying? Because you keep having random sex with strangers without protection. That's how come. No, it must be government interference. The president hates us. Fuck you. It's like,
I was going to say, Ishi talked about it on the show before. Like, the later half of Gen X was so terrified of having sex that they either didn't have sex or they learned really interesting ways to pleasure each other because everybody was terrified.
I can still remember being in my early 20s before I met Trista and having the girl go, "Oh, I don't like condoms," and me getting up and leaving. We're not doing that. I'm not taking that risk. I'm sorry. Because like Eddie Murphy said, what's next? I put my dick in and explode. I shoot fire from my dick.
Well, they taught us how to put condoms on bananas in high school because they were so adamant that protection is a real thing. And in that same class I told you about, career and family studies, one whole section was on HIV and AIDS, and the teacher broke down how birth control works. And then she made it clear, she said, birth control is not the same as venereal diseases. If you wear a condom and you use spermicide, it will not save you from HIV. So remember that, because there were enough dumb people in my class thinking that spermicide would kill HIV, gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, because they wouldn't pay attention. But I remember that was drilled into our heads.
At least they weren't so dumb that they thought that shaking up a Coca-Cola and squirting it up in there would prevent everything.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I knew kids who believed the idea that Lysol would.
Well, fuck, Lysol will kill your vagina too.
Yeah.
Oh God, Chris just walked in, heard you say that. He's backing out of the room and walking away.
Back out slowly.
Sorry, Chris.
I love you. Good night. I'll come in and see you later.
You heard it. You heard it. You can't unhear it.
Backing away. I'm putting the phone towards him. He's hiding behind the wall. Like, what the hell did I just come into?
Fun.
Move away slowly, boy.
Yeah, we're talking about high school, honey.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense now.
Okay. All right.
High school's weird.
Okay.
Middle school is weird, so high school must be weird too.
I love you. Good night.
Good night, Mom.
Good night, Chris.
Good night,
Did you hear that, Bud? They're saying good night to you.
Good night.
I went to
He said
high
goodnight.
school where everybody showed up with shotguns and rifles on the gun rack in the back of the truck and a pistol in the fucking glove box. Yeah,
I was in California. We did not have that.
Yeah, no, same. Southern California did not have that. Had a lot of
Well,
skaters.
Oh God.
my wife lived in California and she had the same thing.
Where in California? Or can you say?
Where's it?
Near Truckee.
Near Truckee,
Oh,
near Donner
Okay.
Pass.
Okay.
yeah, that's Southern California completely. At least where I lived. I don't know. I guess the San Diego, LA area, way different.
Things in California changed fast. I mean, it was within like a year or two, everything changed.
Well, shoot. I mean, I can remember going to my in-laws' house in Norco, and everything's like dirt roads and yeah, gun racks and other things like that. And like 2 years later, they paved everything. People still rode their horses everywhere, but other than that, it became more urban. It wasn't so rural.
I still remember in 10th grade, we had shooting class. You had to have mandatory shooting class if you wanted your license. The boys, if you wanted your hunting license, you had to go take mandatory shooting class. The girls all had to take the shooting class. It was non-discretional. And they taught those girls to shoot little 38 and 9mm pistols.
Nice.
And the boys,
That's
you just
actually
went out
smart.
there. You just went out there and did sharpshooting. Oh yeah, that was they had this Marine in there that was like, the TV shows make you think you can fight off a guy. You know what made men and women equal? Colonel Smith and Wesson. You put 2 big holes in his chest and he's gonna fuck off and find something else to do. But if you try that little karate slap, he's just gonna hurt you. But that was after that girl got grabbed by the Green River Killer. So all of a sudden, everybody wanted their kids to know how to work a pistol. Which was weird, you go to AM PM at like 3 a.m. and see during the summer and see the girl you went to school with, and she's got a goddamn holster on her hip. That was the day. I mean, that was weird back then. I can't picture that nowadays. Can you imagine how some people would act going in to get gas, and there's like a 16 or 17-year-old girl standing there with a 9mm on her hip, and the sign behind her that says, "Is this gas station uses lethal force?"
Okay, that part's cool.
I was going to say, most people would shit their pants now. Wasn't it Lauren Boebert started because she has open carry and she was wearing it into Congress and people started shitting their pants saying she was trying to take Congress hostage. I mean, some weird ass shit. Yeah, people today, like if you see somebody holstering a gun, they freak out. Oh my God, you're going to attack me. You're like a shooter or something.
I don't even think anything about it because we drive 50 miles, go to Walmart, and like every third person has a gun.
Yeah,
I still love that meme with a woman is reaching up to grab bread and she's got a pistol on her hip, and the person that took you the picture goes, "How is this even legal?" And the first answer is, "Lesbians have always been able to buy bread, dumbass."
No, I'll admit, I knew a guy who's now in ExCop in Phoenix. And the first time we came out here to visit him, I'd never been to Arizona before. We stopped at a Walmart to, get some food before hitting the road again. And yeah, there was a dude who had slung under his on his armpit, a freaking hand cannon. And I don't know what it was that he had. Do you remember what it was? Ishi woke up.
Hey, what's up, Isha?
He was wearing a full vest. He had 2 guns.
Can you guys hear this?
Yes.
Yes.
He was wearing a full vest. He had guns slung under each arm and an AR-15 on his back.
Yeah, walking around the Walmart and and nobody gave a shit. It's like
a little overkill, dude.
Yeah, like I just remember that image always sticks in my head as I don't want to be that guy. I carry, but I don't want to be that guy. Like, what the hell? And there was nothing going on. It's not like, he was like a citizen guarding the Walmart or anything. He was just there. I don't know. It wasn't even shopping.
Just cruising the aisles, checking things out, huh?
Using the
Yeah,
ATM.
he was using the ATM.
Ah,
Just like, what the hell? Anyway. But once moving out here and getting used to, you know, the lifestyle, it's like, yeah, okay, cool. You know, at another Walmart, I was doing my grocery shopping, and this elderly gentleman, I hear a crash, and I see that he's dropped something, and I start to head over there to help him, and I realize his piece hit the ground, and nobody, you know, everybody was like, we're going to, you know, look the other way so that this gentleman can have his dignity and put his gun away. And once it was put back away, everything was fine. In fact, then somebody went over to him and asked him if he was okay. But it's like, you know, that's just how it was. It was great. It's really nice that people don't give a shit here.
Yeah.
because East County used to be like that. San Diego, East County. Yeah. But everybody's too afraid now because California is fucking crazy.
Unfortunately, I think everybody who had like a minimal amount of, you know, brains and sanity have left.
Well,
So
there's a lot.
Mates.
Oh, well, there's actually been a lot more reports coming out. There's a ton of people who want to leave but are too poor to leave because California has just raped them through taxes. No, there's tons of people that are like me that are stuck. I'm not stuck for money. I'm stuck because of family reasons. But that's why a lot of these people are fighting back now. Like I told you guys earlier, there's a lot of parents that are fighting against all the CRT in schools and this whole, you know, we don't have to tell you if your children are trans, and the parents are like, yeah, you have to. So, I mean, the people that are stuck here are actually fighting, which is nice to see. Because, I mean, just fuck yeah. This state is Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm sorry, it is. It's gross.
Well, you know, I've never understood the whole. We're too poor to move. You know, I've never understood that. It's like you got to take the risk. You know, it's like they want to move, but they want to move from safety to safety. And I can remember moving, selling all our possessions, putting the kids in the car, and moving, and just crossing our fingers. And you know, sometimes it was not easy. It was really not easy, but we came through. We fought our way through. And if you want to leave that bad, if you really want to leave that bad, you just pack your shit in the car and you go. And you go someplace, you know, you do a little bit of research, like look for a place that has, you know, jobs and stuff. But the biggest thing is learn to look people in the eye and shake their hand.
Yes.
Learn to look people in the eye when you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Have that confidence.
Yeah. Actually, it's weird. Practice doing that in like public situations where they're like a public speaker. You know, there's somebody up there talking, and make sure you keep eye contact with that person. Suddenly, you become the person they are talking to. Yeah. There's an entire room of people, but if you are keeping eye contact with them, they will automatically start talking to you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've had that happen to me before. It's pretty cool.
I mean, you know, people are, you know, and I've actually heard this from Gen Zers. I hate how aggressive Gen X is, where they just stare you right in the face. It's like, look at something else, dude. It's like, no, you look in my eyes when you talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it blows. I've actually said that. To like millennials and Gen Z. You know, you look in my fucking eyes when you talk to me, and they get the weirdest look. I'm like, you don't look away. You look me in the eye when you're gonna say your shit. And yeah, I was being aggressive, but you know, they're standing there, they're looking away from me, and they're mumbling. It's like, no, you got some shit to say to me. You look me in the face and say it. And they're like, oh, it's aggressive. No, you're being a passive aggressive little shit.
It's because they've learned how to stand up to people through a keyboard. So they can talk all the shit they want. They can be tough. They can tell you to, go fuck yourself. Your mama sucks cocks in hell. I'm going to fuck you up. And then you get to see them face to face and they cower because they've learned how to communicate through social media and not face to face with people. I mean, I can remember hanging out at coffee shops or the mall, and guys and gals had no problem getting in each other's faces. Like, you have something to say? Yeah, I have something to say. The newer generations are like, I have something to say to you over a keyboard, but you confront them in real life. Oh, no, man, you misunderstood. I'm sorry. Or they just mumble.
Well, and it's not even just, being even confronting you. It's also, it's more than just confronting someone. It's you're trying to talk to them about something, right? You're trying to say, hey, you need to go do this and you need to redo it again. And they mumble and start looking down and you're like, what? And they mumble and they look away and they're like, or they turn around and it's like, don't you turn your back on me talking to me. And I know it sounds super aggressive, but I'm sorry. Learn to fucking look me in the eye when you talk to me.
I just always, it's both polite or respectful to look somebody in the face or in the eye. And 2, if you don't, it shows weakness.
Yeah. But it's like, when you talk, I like to look people in the eyes. And what got me is I've heard millennial women go like, it's creepy when they stare you in the eyes. Well, eyes are the windows to the soul. And I want to know if you have one.
Oh,
I want to
like
know if
that.
you actually have one. And it's like, oh, they just stare. They just stare you right in the face. And it's like, that's aggressive. It's like, yep.
Like,
It's
yeah,
like, absolutely.
Yeah. And what are you going to do about it?
It's like, it's not because I expect them to, I look them in the face. I give them the respect of looking them in the face. I give them the respect of speaking clearly, loudly, and talking straight to them. And I don't get it. I don't get it why it's like, it's aggressive to do that. It's like, no, it's not. It's politeness. I mean, how many times can you think of where your father told you, you look me in the eye when you talk to me? You weren't allowed to mumble. You weren't allowed to look away and mumble under your breath. Oh, well.
No, I was just thinking, like, my parents didn't do that, but I've already talked about when my parents were like, looking them straight in the eye was, I was disrespecting them and being uppity. So I'll keep my eyes down and that's that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get it, but my brother did. So, my dad would do the, no, you look at me when I'm talking to you thing. Because my brother would have a tendency to look down at his feet and kind of turn his head and then laugh because he thought it was funny. But my brother's a millennial, so.
Yeah, no, if I looked my parents in the eye when they were talking to me, like all of a sudden it would be, are you being defiant? Like innocuous things too. So I was taught to not look at people in the eye. I've had to teach myself over the years because I was trained to not look.
Yeah.
But that's just because my parents were fucked up.
Yeah, I guess all our parents were fucked up in different ways. So now we're all fucked up in all kinds of different ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is very true. But, it's how you deal with it.
Yeah. It's how you deal with it. Fuck.
Now, I will say I had teachers when I got in trouble would be like, you look at me when I'm talking to you. It's like, yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes, sir. Oh, shit. No
Well, that's
problem.
like, I'll tell you one thing, man. Hearing one of your parents or one of your older relatives yell your middle name, you didn't know whether to just abandon your life here and start a new life in another country or go see what they wanted.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. The dreaded full name. Like, oh shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. You guys are going to laugh at this. I will call my husband's middle name if he has done something. I'm like, I'm full blown mom. I'll do it to my kid and I do it to my husband. Before anybody gets upset, no, I'm not trying to emasculate him. It's more like when he likes to scare me. When he jumps out and scares me or does something like that, then I will yell his first name and his middle name. I don't know if you ever got that when you play a prank and, I always got Janelle Renee.
I didn't play pranks on my mom. I learned real quick.
No.
No, my mom and my dad both taught me how to play pranks on them for each other. So I was in on it. Oh, hell yeah. We used to dump ice water on my dad while he was in the shower.
Oh dear God.
And the shriek. But then he got back at me when I was older and I was taking a shower and it was wintertime. I'd finally just warmed up and boom, a pitcher of ice water on my head. I never did it again. He did it during swim season too, because swim season starts in February. So I was a fucking cold when I came home. Dumped that fucking ice water on my head. I'll never forget it.
I went too far with some pranks when we were first married, but she forgave me and let me get past it, which is nice. Because I did go too far. I had a bad tendency to go too far sometimes. I don't mean to. I just went too far. But like she said, I threw the same energy at everything in our lives, so that always helped. Because that's the other thing. If people threw, I think.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you learn how far is too far from those around you, and from what what I've heard you share, either people went too far, went way too far, or there was nobody to tell you where those boundaries were. So it makes sense.
Yeah, and it was like we've reached a point where we've gone too far, but we've clearly passed that. So all that's left now is to keep going and see what happens.
Oh God.
I mean, that's where we were. And eventually, I got older and I slowly chilled out as my brain fucking normalized. But I don't know. And I always thought that it was I always thought it was weird that I knew people that would be like, "Oh, me and my wife got in an argument, so we're gonna get divorced." It's like, what did you guys argue over? Oh, we don't really remember, but she's mad at me for reasons I don't really understand, and I'm mad at her because she's mad at me. I'm like, and you're getting divorced over that, and you have 2 fucking kids. Well, yeah, not everybody can get over things like you and your wife. I'm like, my wife is still mad at me for some shit I did 2 years ago. But if anybody wants some advice, comes to this channel for some god-awful reason and wants marriage advice, I'll give you a huge one. You and your wife have to agree to this. If you have not brought it up for discussion, and you can't walk away from it, if you have not brought it up for discussion in 2 weeks, you must drop it forever. You may not bring it up when you're fighting. It may be able to be brought up later in a how do we fix this context, but if somebody fucks up and you don't bring it up within 2 weeks, it obviously wasn't that important, and stop throwing it in each other's faces 3 years down the line. Give yourself a 2 weeks or maybe a month limit. and you'll find out that you're not hashing the same argument over and over and over from some shit you did 2 years ago. And the other one is learn the difference between I'm yelling to you and I'm yelling at you.
Yeah, I agree with all of that.
I agree with that too.
Especially if you don't bring it up in a certain time period, you never bring it up again because you're just being petty. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know guys who their wife throws up shit in their face when they argue from 30 years ago.
No, my father was married 4 times. So I have seen, the spectrum of crazy and fighting and holding grudges and other things like that. And I promised myself, I wasn't so eloquent as how you put it, Ralt, but it was basically you have your argument, you have your disagreement, you come together, you resolve it, you drop it. Because you've resolved it. You've fixed the problem, or at least you've addressed it. You move on. If you don't move on, it's just going to destroy you. And I've stuck to that.
Yeah, you gotta stick to it. You really have to stick to it, because that's the big thing. You gotta have consistency in your relationship. I mean, sure, I was a fucking crazy person, but I was consistent to my craziness. Oh God, there he goes again. Oh God damn it! I told you not to bring that shit. I told you not to do that. God damn it! He's overstimulated again and running around in circles in the yard.
That reminds me of a joke my dad used to tell me. He'd say, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, why am I running around in circles? Shut up, Timmy, or I'll nail your other foot to the ground."
Yes.
I fucking loved that joke as a child. Also, what's red and green and goes 500 miles per hour?
Frog in a blender.
Yep. God, he told me that joke. It never got old when I was a child. I laughed and laughed and laughed.
Yeah. What's green and smells like pork?
What?
Kermit's middle finger.
Oh my God. Okay, no, I didn't hear that one.
Never heard that one. That one's good.
How have you never heard that one? Oh God.
I'm deprived.
What's black and red and white and can't turn corners? A nun with a spear through her.
Oh Jesus. So I thought you were going to say what's black and white and red all over a newspaper.
Jesus.
Oh, here's a couple of them. What do you call a man with no arms and legs in the ocean?
Bob.
Okay, so what do you call a man with no arms and legs in a jacuzzi?
Stu.
Yep. And then what do you call a guy with no arms and no legs lying on the floor?
Matt.
Yep. These are the jokes that my dad told me all the time when I was a kid.
There is a joke that I reference in my series, but I don't think anybody's ever gotten it. It's a real old joke. And this guy's jogging to the end of the pier every day for like years. And one time he sees this girl with no arms and legs, and she's sitting there crying. He's a nice guy, and he stops and he goes, "Oh, what's wrong?" She goes, "Well, I have no arms and legs, and I'm a virgin, and I've never been hugged." He's like, "Oh, okay." He gives her a hug. And then a week later, he's jogging down there, same girl with no arms and legs, sitting on the bench at the end of the pier crying. He goes, "Hey, how are you? What's wrong?" And she goes, "Well, I'm a virgin and nobody ever touches me and I've never been kissed." And he gives her a nice soft kiss and then jogs away, feeling pretty good about himself. And about 2 weeks later, he comes jogging back down and she's sitting there crying. He's like, "Oh, fuck, what now?" And he goes up and he goes, "Hey, what's going on? What's wrong?" And she goes, "Well, I'm a virgin and I've never had sex with a man." And he picks her up all tenderly and looks her eyes and he hucks her in the ocean and yells, "You're fucked now!"
Wow. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw. Yeah, it's just like, and I reference that all the time because one of the bad guys is always like, "Are you a virgin?" What does that matter? Because you're fucked now. Oh
Oh,
man.
I miss those kind of jokes.
Mhm.
God, you don't hear those kind of jokes anymore.
No, you don't.
I
It's kind
have,
of a shame.
I actually have one, but it might get the channel in trouble.
Well,
The
like,
only one I didn't like was the child molestation ones.
Oh, no.
Those were never funny to me.
I never got why people thought those were funny.
No, those are gross. You want to hear the one that's going to get the channel shut down?
Sure.
What do AIDS and botulism have in common?
What?
They both come from bad meat in the can.
Yeah.
My dad told me that one too.
Nice.
Yeah. What do McDonald's and Michael Jackson have in common? 40-year-old meat between 9-year-old buns.
Oh. Oh God.
Oh yeah, that's pretty fucking bad. I used to know some terrible fucking jokes, but I've forgotten them over the years.
Undead says she's gonna miss this channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss the channel when it's gone. Yeah, I'm gonna miss this channel.
Yeah, I just have to share this. Last night, I wasn't feeling too good mentally, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen Daria in like 15 years, and I've heard it, quote unquote, is a product of its times, that it didn't age well. I'm gonna pull up an episode of Daria and I'm gonna watch it, and I did. And A, I hadn't laughed that hard in quite a long time, and B, I'm like, you know what? The millennials are right. I've had so many millennials tell me that they're scared of that show, that it's mean spirited, and I'm like, yeah, it is, but damn, it's funny.
Oh, Daria was not supposed to be somebody to look up to. She was supposed to be somebody you're like, oh God, in real life, I'd fucking smack this bitch.
Wait, guys, did we actually get shut down? I see Wolf says, "Oh man, Humble Marty gave a sad face," and there's always the Wordcraft podcast channel.
Oh dear God,
did we really get zapped for those jokes? What?
Oh shit! I'm hearing typing. Are you checking?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna miss this. channel.
Okay. God, you guys scared the shit out of me. Damn it.
Oh man.
No,
that was not cool. I thought we really got in trouble. I went, for fuck's sake, they still have unedited, uncensored versions of Men on Films from In Living Color on YouTube, and we got zapped for jokes.
YouTube has no consistency. They don't care.
Speaking of, Kat, if you ever need to watch something uplifting, I watch Men on Films or any of the Men on stuff from Old School and Living Color. For real. Like, I will laugh hysterically and I will forget about bad stuff.
Okay. Sadly, I'm not familiar with In Living Color. No. Okay, wait. I'm familiar with the show. Don't get me wrong. I know the show. I know Homie the Clown and shit like that. But my mom refused to let me watch it. And the only reason why I even got to see the one episode that I did was because her boyfriend was insisting on watching it, and she didn't tell him no. And I happened to still be awake at the time, so I got to watch it with them. But I've, other than like one episode, I've never seen In Living Color. So.
Oh God, my parents, we watched The Simpsons, followed by Married with Children, followed by In Living Color. Like that was the block on Sunday night. And In Living Color was so good because it was so offensive. And I mean, they did not give a fuck. No, nothing was sacred. And I mean, that's where, you know, a lot of breakout stars came out. Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans. I mean, that was all Keenan Ivory Wayans' whole thing. But the Men on Films skits, you can tell that David Alan Grier and Damon Wayans knew gay men from the Black community because they nailed it to the point that gay people laugh their asses off at these skits because they are so spot on. Like, you can go onto the comments on YouTube and they're like, as a gay man, this is like absolutely how we are, and it's great. I mean, when I forget what year it was, but when In Living Color did the competing halftime show for the Super Bowl, they got double the ratings than the actual NFL Super Bowl show. That's when they hired MTV, because In Living Color blew them out of the water. And I mean, that was one of the best halftime shows I've ever seen because it was live and they were all shit-faced by the end, trying to keep up, like doing the sketch comedy. Tommy Davidson was slurring his words. It was so good.
Oh God, fucking Super Bowl, right? I gotta go to a Super Bowl. I'm in Europe, and we've got to stay up until like 3 or 4 a.m. to watch the Super Bowl, right? And we're watching on AFM, which is Armed Forces Network, and it's the middle of there's a bad storm and shit, and we're watching. We all have money riding on this shit, right? I think I had like $300 riding on it, and I remember it was a tied game, and at the last second, and then they're getting ready for like, I think it was like 4th and 10 or something. It was one of those really tight 80s Super Bowls, and all of a sudden the feed cut out, and everybody's like, no, and then they come back and they're like, it's all over, that's incredible. And then you hear, this is Armed Forces Network, and they switch to a different show.
Oh,
I thought people were about ready to fucking riot. Everybody was hanging out up at the Burger King and up at the fucking Class 6 because they got the newspapers first, because everybody was like, who the fuck won? Because I got like $500 on this, I need to know who won. But that sucked. The whole it's all over. This is Armed Forces Network. It's like, fuck. Yeah, I quit watching the Super Bowl after that because I was like, fuck it. I guess I'm done.
oh, jeez.
My wife likes the Super Bowl. She watches it. I don't get it. She watches it, but she still likes it.
I can't watch the Super Bowl because I burst into tears every year. I'll watch it, but I have a good cry. For people who don't know, my dad played for the NFL, and then he was an official for the NFL until the day he died. I was a season ticket holder for the Chargers up until he died, and so watching professional football, for me, as stupid as it sounds, will cause me to burst into tears sometime. And the Super Bowl hits hard because I actually got to go to the Green Bay Denver game. I didn't get to go inside, but I got to use my dad's pass and hang out with my friends. He allowed me to have that Super Bowl experience. And so, yeah, like the Super Bowl hits hard. The only time I didn't cry after my dad passed away was when I was pregnant with Chris and the Saints were playing and they won. And I was so sick with morning sickness. I had a bucket next to me while watching the game. I'd be like, yeah, go Saints.
Oh,
that was the only time I didn't cry because I was too busy trying not to throw up. So yeah, I this last year, Super Bowl, I turned it on. I'm like, I'm going to be good. And then it starts. Like, oh God, I miss my dad. I'm weird. Sorry.
No, I totally get it.
I totally get it.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I need to figure. I'm going to send this to you, Kat, because I found the party's dog. Probably by session 12, this will be your guys' dog.
Ooh, we hit a doggo.
You'll like this.
Okay. Sending by email or in the chat?
Email. Because, yeah, it's off my hard drive. That way you can show it in the stream.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'll take a minute or two because, Gmail.
Yeah.
And Ted says, don't fall for it. It's a trap.
Shut up, Ted.
Don't do it. Don't open it.
The email's a mimic?
No, yeah, the email's a mimic.
Are we getting a hell dog from Ghostbusters?
No.
Oh, a terror dog?
This is like the coolest dog ever.
And Dad's
Sweet.
like, no, don't do it.
It's a great dog. You got to put it up because, damn,
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to come through.
that was a hell of a game yesterday, man. That was
That
really
was so
fucking
much
good.
fun.
I'm sad I
Hey.
could only play for like the last 30 minutes. Well, I was on hurricane watch, so
Yeah,
I would not have been able to jump in anyway.
Yeah, your
It went-
yard got flooded.
Actually, oh my God.
It went from 0 to 50.
Well, it sounds like by the time I rolled in. You want to hear something weird? When we woke up this morning, everything was absorbed into the ground. No flooding anymore. Like, we thought for sure that we were going to have to walk through a marsh. Everything was absorbed. I did not realize how parched our front and backyard were. But yeah.
The storm just disintegrated. I guess it hit California and lost its will to live.
Well, it hit the mountains in Southern California, and so when it got to us, it had become a tropical storm. But if you've seen the scenes coming out of like Huntington Beach or Palm Springs is fucked right now. Like, everything got flooded. Yeah. People were stuck in their homes. They had to dig them out, like dig the mud away from their doors and pull them out. It was crazy to see that they had pictures of it. And then, like I said, that pass on the 8 going through the mountains to Arizona, boulders were in the road, not just rocks, fucking boulders. Fell off. I would be terrified if I was one of those people driving. Well, you would be an idiot to drive in a hurricane unless it was an absolute emergency. But so
I've
yeah,
seen
like
people
oh,
Sorry.
what? Sorry, you cut out.
I've seen people do it.
People are stupid. But yeah, like by the time it got to us, Julian had trees blown over into the freeways or the highways, so they told nobody to come up. They actually like sent people out to like block the roads. So by the time it got to us, it was a tropical storm. So we got a little wind, but it was mostly just like a deluge from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. It really was just we were watching it going, all right, okay, well, yeah, we can't walk out into the front yard. Okay, yeah, the pool water is level with the patio. So yeah.
I love the doggo. Sorry, I gotta put him up.
Yeah.
Where is? Do I have the ability?
It's the doggo.
Oh,
This will be the
since
dog
this
you guys
is not-
find.
Okay, since this is not Ishi's channel, I can't just post it, so we're gonna do screen share. I don't think I have anything in my email that people can't see, so give me a second.
Everybody knew Hillary was a blowhard anyway. Oh man,
I just thought it was great. An earthquake hit while Hillary was rolling through. That's why I said God's trying to say something to Southern California. People might want to listen.
There you go. There's our doggo. I love that doggo.
Oh my God. He's gonna get all the treats.
Does he come with the little baby bib thing?
Well, yeah, he's got to come with the sweater.
Nice.
Can't wait. What are we gonna name it? Or is it gonna come with a name?
Does he come with a name?
I don't know.
You don't know. You haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we need to name him Scooter because he's derpy like Scooter from Borderlands. His name is Scooter.
His name is Scooter. His name is Scooter.
Oh my God, can we feed him those biomechanical things that vaporized Ishi's arm?
Yeah, every time he barks, he like shoots a bolt that does, what is it, 3d6 mega damage.
Or he could be like that dog from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 that pisses napalm.
Oh God, I remember that.
Yeah. The dog pissed fire and Freddy crawled out from hell
Yeah.
in the junkyard. Yeah. Scooter. I like Scooter. Oh my God. I love this dog and I actually want it.
That's so amazing.
I would have no problem walking that dog down the street and have people stare in horror. Yeah. Then he's got two tongues.
Run across a Scooter is like mild. He still is dog-ish.
Yeah.
Although we just saw his head, I don't know what the rest of his body looks like. I mean,
I figure it would be best if it was like a. It would be best if it was like a normal dog. Like, what's wrong with your dog? Nothing. Why?
Nothing wrong with him.
Nothing wrong with him. He's fine. But he's got 4 eyes. Well, yeah, better to see.
Well, yeah.
Dude, we're living in the end times. There's predators everywhere.
It's like he can see all kinds of stuff now.
You just ran away from a tentacle Cthulhu monster, and you're harping on the fact my dog has 4 eyes.
Wait, he has 2 tongues. Does that mean he has 2 sets of balls?
Sure, why not?
I'm just kidding, Ralph Jesus.
I don't know. Well, if you're gonna ask, I'm gonna say.
Okay, either of you see the episode of Venture Brothers where Dr. Orpheus goes to the other dimension and his deity appears
sitting
to
in
him
the chair licking his balls?
Yes. Look at his head. That's all it does. It just licks them. And you know what?
Yeah.
I can taste it.
Yeah, look at this head. That's all it does is lick itself.
The deity always changed into something different each time he visited because I remember one time he was his ex-wife and he's like, look at your wife's ass. You could bounce a penis off this ass.
And he never learned the lessons.
Nope, he never learned the lessons. Never.
He never ever did.
Nope.
The movie finally came out. I need to watch the final season before we watch the movie. I'm sad.
I can't believe that they canceled it just because, it's problematic.
Oh, no, that wasn't the real reason. The guy who became the new guy in charge of Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, his animation show was up for the slot as the same time as the Venture Brothers, and they chose the Venture Brothers. So the moment he became the new CEO, he axed their show in revenge. The guy's a petty motherfucker, and apparently he's done it to a couple of other people too.
Well,
that's why we lost the show.
Tom Goes to the Mayor, right?
What?
Oh, Tom Goes to the Mayor was such a shitty fucking it wasn't even a good show. It was just fuck. It was dumb, and the animation was stupid.
Agreed.
It was like, it's a good show. I judge you as a person now.
Yes. Agreed in every way. That's one of there are a few like real life litmus tests. That is one of them. Okay. It's like, what do you think of Tom Goes to the Mayor? Well, it was a pretty good show. Okay, I hate you now.
Yeah.
We can't
I never even heard of it.
Tom Goes to the Mayor?
Yeah, no, never heard of it.
Oh.
I guess I dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Look it up. Look it up on YouTube.
Oh God, I'm scared.
You should be. Tom Goes to the Mayor is the epitome of lol so random.
Oh fuck, I hate that kind of humor.
Yeah.
God, I gotta say there were a lot of good shows that disappeared. It was like Metalocalypse and Venture Brothers were the last ones standing, and then they got axed too. Because I remember it would start with what was it? The Hunger Force, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Yeah. And then you would have Venture Brothers came on next. And then it was Metalocalypse. And then Frisky Dingo was after that. Like Steve and I would stay up till 3:00 in the morning because then all the anime came on. And this is when Steve worked night shifts. So we would, like I said, stay up till 3:00 in the morning because it was so fucking good. You had all this adult humor, and then you had kick-ass anime, and like it all just disappeared. I mean, I remember like what was it? It was Gundam Wing, Inuyasha,
Yep.
Bleach,
Space Ghost.
Space Ghost. Oh, that's right, Space Ghost came. That was the last one that came on. I think it came on at like 1:00 in the morning, and then the anime came on after that.
And Space Ghost is what started it all.
Yeah, you're right.
I wasn't really that thrilled about Space Ghost. I mean, it wasn't that great to me. But my brother fucking loved it. My brother fucking absolutely loved it.
I can remember it. We had I just come home from an RPG. I don't remember which game it was. It was like 1 a.m. I was still hyped up. I turned on Space Ghost and I decided, you know what? Now's the great time for me to start making my leather armor. So I pulled out all my leather work stuff and got to work. I did that until the sun came up. But that was the days. Fucking Space Ghost.
I forgot too. They were pointing out Harvey Birdman.
Yeah, Birdman.
Yeah, those shows didn't really interest me, but I got why people liked them. You know, I was just like, okay, I guess, you know, this just isn't made for me, but that's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. You know what? My brain is fried. Neostar is pointing out too, a lot of the obscure Hanna-Barbera shows came out, like the, what was it? The Humanoids? Not the Humanoids. No, it was the Humanoids.
No. I can't remember what it was called. It was, God damn it.
You know what I'm talking about? Had the rhinoceros that would shoot bullets? Yeah.
Yeah,
it was something noids.
From the Herculoids.
Herculoids, thank you. And it took place on a post-apocalyptic planet, but it wasn't Earth.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I miss the old school days of Adult Swim. That was the golden age. The early 2000s was the golden age of Adult Swim. It was so good. And Hitman Wanderer is correct. Adult Swim is ironically run by adult children. Yes, I honestly think that's what it's the same thing that happened to everything else in pop culture. The adult children came in.
They don't understand. They don't get it. And you know, I'm sorry. They got rid of the song "Fat Bottom Girls" because of body shaming. That tells me they never listened to that song.
What?
I thought that whole song was about how they loved that the girl. Well, obviously not Freddie Mercury, but Brian May and Roger Taylor, like the girls with the junk in their trunk.
Freddie Mercury was bi. I mean, they've come out and said repeatedly he wasn't gay. He was bi. He fucked anything that moved. And if they really listen to it, it's about the boy in the song being molested by his babysitter.
I never picked up on that. Holy shit!
I didn't either, but yeah, I get
Go look at the lyrics. Go look at the lyrics right now.
Okay, give me 1 second.
And you'll find out that But
and yet I knew that Freddie Mercury was bi, but he preferred male company to female company. But I'm trying Mary. What was her name? The woman he was going to marry, and her name was Mary, and he left everything to her. And he said that she was his soulmate and the love of his life. He was even the godparent to both of her children. What the fuck is her name? I can't remember now. But yeah, because I remember Freddie Mercury's supposed lover had a freak out and said that Freddie said he could stay there with her. And she was like, no, you can leave.
Sorry, I got sidetracked for a second. But
Oh yeah. I was just a skinny lad, never knew no good from bad, but I knew life before I left my nursery. Left alone with big fat Fanny. She was such a naughty nanny. Heap big woman, you made a bad boy out of me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, they missed that. And they're like, oh, it's body shaming. It's like, no, it's not.
No, it's
but
not.
So they didn't put it in the newest greatest hits.
Oh my God. I'm so glad I have the original News of the World. That's what, no, that wasn't off News of the World. Was it?
No.
It's not. Okay.
No, News of the World had We Will Rock You.
Yeah, well, it has my
Yeah.
favorite song too, "Sheer Heart Attack," which was supposed to come out on the album "Sheer Heart Attack," but they didn't like how it sounded, so they pulled it and redid it, and then put it on News of the World.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'd forgotten about that.
And I went through this phase where I was obsessed with Queen. I studied everything about them.
I did too, actually. That's why my favorite is the Prophet song, followed by 39.
My favorite was whatever was on the radio while I was jogging.
That works. That's totally legit. Like, this
Oh,
sounds-
I was going to say, when I saw the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, I actually got a little depressed afterwards because I realized I was never going to see Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
That like really bummed me out.
Oh God, I'll tell you what made me feel old. It's made me feel old as fuck. Right. So I pull up with my car. I got my kid in the car. My wife's at work, and I'm playing Bohemian Rhapsody because it came on the radio. And I get out, and this girl that got out of the car next to me goes, "Oh wow, I love that song. It's a shame that the lead singer died right after they made it big and got on Wayne's World."
Oh my God, I've heard so many people say that. It drives me insane.
I wanted to die. I wanted to fucking die. I was just staring at her for a long minute. She was like, "What?" I was like, "Bohemian Rhapsody came out in like '79."
Yeah. Oh my God.
You want to hear a nice story about Bohemian Rhapsody? So Mike Myers and Dana Carvey asked if they could use Bohemian Rhapsody in their movie, and Queen was really like, I don't know. And they showed Freddie Mercury was dying at this point. They showed him a clip of that scene and they loved it. So they were able to bring the film to his house and he got to see Wayne's World before it came out. And he was absolutely thrilled and said it was a great movie. I always thought that was a wonderful story.
That is.
And yes, Bohemian Rhapsody had fallen into obscurity at that point until that movie came out. And then a whole bunch of new Queen fans came out. So the fact that that woman said that Queen didn't hit it big until after Wayne's World, I'm like, wow.
You at that point, it's like, is it worth it to argue?
It's not. You just walk away. You know what? I'm just gonna walk away.
I wouldn't. I'm one of those people. Did you ever watch Live Aid on YouTube? Are you fucking kidding me?
No, this was way before YouTube. This is right when Wayne's World came out.
Oh, okay. I thought this was
God,
recently.
I'm old.
Just like,
no, God,
Jesus.
I'm old.
God, even I knew that Bohemian Rhapsody was an older song when Wayne's World came out. But, jeez.
My parents were rabid Queen fans. They had the fucking album. They had all the albums.
So you guys know that new game that's coming out, Starfield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, Redditors and reviewers are mad because it's thousands of years in the future and religion still exists.
Oh my God. You know
That's one thing I loved about my series. It's like, greetings, hello, humans. We greet you in the name of the creator of our universe, who we call.
Oh my God. I'm so tired of people being offended by religion. Get the fuck over it.
Even fake ones that you make up. But not.
Oh.
It's just, holy shit, you know, what if the aliens do show up and believe in their version of God? Oh man, but I swear to God, people get offended. And see, but we're not allowed to get offended over that ugly fucking swamp donkey that's in the new Fable game.
Oh my God.
Holy fuck.
Every time I see her, I want to punch my screen. She makes me irrationally mad. Or maybe it is rationally mad.
I just look at it and think, you know, this is why tigers used to eat their young. I mean, fuck, why is there a swamp donkey on my screen?
Why are they trying to tell me I'm supposed to like it?
You're supposed to find her attractive. I'm not into bestiality, thanks anyway.
No,
I mean,
I have no desire to play the game now. She is that fucking ugly. She
God,
would
she's
break
hideous.
my brain. Like just playing her would make me angry.
It's like, fuck. What was wrong with her human body? What was wrong with her human face? I mean, for fuck's sake, I'll take a stick figure over that ugly fucking troglodyte. You know, and she looks fucking retarded. She looks like a retard. She looks like a physically, mentally disabled fucking weirdo. She looks like the type when nobody's looking, she's ramming the sword hilt up her butt. And making drooling noises while she's cross-eyed. I mean, fuck. It's like, I'm going to be playing a game with a little retard? No, thanks. I played Halo. I mean, fuck. But, oh no, there's religion in this game. Can't we have one game without religion? Fuck you. Can we have one game with religion where, you know what? And here's the other thing. Just for once. Just for fucking once. I want the studios to do something extremely edgy. I want the people who believe in the God and the God to be actual good people. You know, because it's like, yeah, I'm going to write some science fiction or fantasy, only the angels are dicks and God is evil. Wow, breaking new ground there, champ. We'll just turn back the clock to the 1600s. Fuck. You know.
No, I agree.
But no, we've got a whole generation of sissies who are still whining that their parents made them go to church on Sunday. Oh, boo fucking who? You had to use 6 hours to sit there and behave yourself instead of furiously masturbating with a Funko Pop in your ass. You fucking dildo.
I thought they were whining because they were hearing their parents whine that they were being taken to church, and their parents being boomers.
That too. God.
I'll be honest, other than the good people in this chat who actually do have something between their ears, I don't know of any millennials who have gone to church.
I haven't gone to church in years. I mean, I'm talking 20, 30 years. But my wife is religious. She was always slightly religious, and it grew as we grew older, and she saw, you know, she's like, I saw you get hit by lightning. What do you mean I don't believe in miracles? She's like, all the stuff you survived, and you expect me not to believe in God? But all things our kids have survived. All the stuff we've survived together, of course I believe in God. And it gets me that so many people are like, oh, you should break her free of the conditioning. She's fucking happy, okay? She's fucking happy. Is it that offensive to you that she's happy?
Break her
that she
free
finds some fucking comfort? What?
Break her free of the conditioning?
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it conditioning for us Christians.
And it's like, look, she's happy, okay? Fuck, you can't find that. You can't find happiness that easy in this world. And these are the same assholes that are like, oh, I can't find any happiness at my job.
I was going to say, I shouldn't say just us Christians, anybody who actually believes in a religion.
I'm gonna channel Ishi here, you know, because I am an atheist too, but I spent like the first 11 years of my life going to a Christian school, and I totally see the value, and whether or not there is a God, it really doesn't matter. The important thing is that if it's something that adds to your life, makes you a better person, is a positive thing, why is that bad?
Yeah, now, I don't like the people who proselytize to me, no matter what their religion, including atheism. Don't proselytize your fucking belief system at me. Go away.
Yeah, actually, 90% of the atheists I've ever met, they're not actually atheists. It's just they're pissed at God, and so they have a vendetta.
Holy shit, the air is practically chunky out here.
Ugh.
Humidity and dust combined in the air.
Oh, God. That just makes my throat feel gross thinking about that.
And pollen. Pollen, dust, and cattle dust to boot. And height and like 80% humidity.
Oh, shit.
Ew.
Oh, my God, I can taste the fucking cow farm down the road. Fuck.
Oh.
Normally, I don't care, but Fuck, I bitch. We're online bitching, so I'm bitching.
You're gonna have mud scraping off of you when you go back inside.
That's like for the first 3 or 4 minutes when it rains. It's full of dirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything's gonna wash off. Ugh. No, you said you can taste the cows down
Yeah.
the road, and it's like, I haven't quite figured out where exactly it is, but I do know we've got a cattle ranch nearby. And yeah, when the wind's blowing in one direction, yeah, not only can you smell it, there are days where you can taste it. Just,
Oh, the worst thing I ever lived by was a fucking paper mill. Oh, God. We lived by that for 6 months, and fuck, it stunk.
Hey guys, I need to be asleep. It's 10:31.
Okay. Yeah, we've been on for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh no, you guys
Yeah,
can
we have.
continue on without me. Just I gotta go.
Nah, it's 10:30. I should actually think about going to bed too.
Oh, see there, I yawned. I'm up past my bedtime.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, listening to us just rant. Go check out Raltz's books, Behold Humanity, available now on Amazon.
Zaba, come on. Now at least hang out with me so I get the dog inside.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. Go inside.
Does he have 4 eyes?
Nah, he's just a little black dog.
Oh.
Go. No. He wants to eat bugs. That's what he does. I take him out to go potty.
There's bugs.
I take him out to go potty, and he eats bugs.
Protein.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's little protein snacks.
Yeah. Variety in the diet. It's all good.
Let's go. Come on. No, you don't get to sniff at the trash can.
It's like, but I gotta stop at every place and sniff, maybe pee on it.
You know, he's getting the news of the world, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck, it's so humid I can't catch my breath. Okay, I got him in. Just a minute, I'll give you a treat. Yep, it was fun to hang out. Thanks.
Okay, good night, everyone. I'm going to end the
everybody.
broadcast now.